Good evening, everybody. If you're one of the few people who caught the last stream a few hours ago, it turns out that, well, you're a liar, because that stream was unfortunately set to private. That stream was unfortunately set to private, so yes, I've been screaming into my pillow for the past hour, and hopefully we can do a take two. So, yesterday, I said I was going to do a part 2 after running some errands. However, those errands kind of ran over and got back home pretty late. So I thought, might as well do it today. So, yesterday we did parts 1 to 3 of this tutorial. Let's learn Godot 4 by making an RPG. If you've read the news, Unity have basically, I'm trying to find a word to describe what they did without swearing, but I can't, so I'll just say they shut the bed, went full retard, and as a result I'm going to have to learn a new game engine. So this is hence why we're going through this Godot tutorial. Now, in the previous stream, I did go about halfway through this part 3 before I realised my mistake. So what I did was that I got rid of everything, didn't save, just got out of Godot, and yeah. So hopefully we'll be doing the same thing again. There were a few slip-ups. So, for example, I did not. So, yeah, the assets that I downloaded, they were a bit. Either my download got cut off early, or I went to the wrong link. But it just turned out that I didn't have any tile sets. These things here. So yeah, no tile sets. That's obviously bad. Given that this tutorial is about tile sets. Oh, and also I've fixed it's about. So yeah, in yesterday's stream I had to cut a bit of it out because press Shift Tab to unindent, and of course that's also the shortcuts for the Steam overlay. So I had to cut a bit out of that VOD. So that now goes into a video, and now my part 1's in the videos section of my YouTube channel, whereas this will be in the live section. It's going to be all horrible and ugh. You'll see that OCD is a common thing in these streams. Anyways, I've blathered on for a bit too long now, so let's go into this thing for the second time today. So, welcome back to Dusty Trials tutorial. Missed the previous part. You can find the links to the previous parts of it. We now have a functioning player, sort of. We still have a lot to add. So this player that they're talking of, whoa. It moves, it fires. So, but you know, that player has to wait because we're going to add the game's tile map with collisions as well as a camera 2D to our game, so we can follow our guy around. We didn't add the camera because it needs a background, which is going to be the tile map that we'll hopefully be creating. So, where are we going now? So, first things first, what is a tile map or a tile set? Well, our tile maps are the basis for building a game world or level map out of some small rectangular shaped images we call tiles. These tiles are stored in something we call an atlas, tile set, sprite sheet, which we've seen before when adding animations. Tile set is the actual graphics of the tile map. This is a tile set, this is the tile map. In our main scene, we can add a new node of type tile map, click and drag the node so that it is behind our player scene, otherwise the player will be hidden by our map. And one thing I don't like about this site is that when you scroll down, click an image, go back and, well, okay, originally, whenever I went back, it went straight to the top of it, but this bug must have fixed itself, I don't know. So, by behind, they mean in front. I mean above and, yeah, take your time, Godot. Like so. Obviously, everything renders from top to bottom, so the tile map will render first and the player will render in front of it. So far, so Unity. So, where are we? Let's rename the mode to map. Inspector panel, click on the tile set to create a new tile set. So, tile map will just rename to map. We want to add a tile set. And in this tile set, well, beforehand, we'll see these two things have been added, tile set and tile map. To create our tile map, which is the map we'll draw on the screen, we first need to assign it a tile set, which is the image we draw from. To do this, click on the tile set option and open your assets folder. Open the assets folder. You'll see they give you 3 tile sets, interior, water, atlas. You can drag this tile set into the tiles option and tile set panel. So, like so. We'll be using atlas in the time being to begin with, but we'll use water shortly, and the interior will probably be a bit more. So pop-up will ask you a pop-up will ask you, well, I haven't had a pop-up ask me. I think I might actually have to do these one at a time. So you see, here's a pop-up. Would you like to automatically create tiles? Yes, please. Same with this. Oh. Do that the same. Yeah. So, you can now change the tiles set's name, ID, and grid separation values. Not going to change the name, but you can if you want to. We'll keep it as Atlas. We want to, how do we set it to ID? Here we go, 0. And it's being seen again because my numlock's not on. That's why. So, yes, textures on there, margins. Texture reg is 16 pixels. Good, good, good. Now, if we go back to the tile map panel, we can see that our tiles have been added. We can now click on the tile sheet and start painting the images onto the screen. So, go back here. We click a tile map. Okay, here we go, yeah, like so. So, yeah, you can paint however you want to. So, brief overview of the tools that we have. Select tool, let us select and move tiles. So if we, I'm guessing we can select this and we can move this to wherever. Paint tool, self-explanatory. Rectangle tool, likewise. Bucket tool, yeah, that's, I think it takes the bounds of the bounding box of what we painted so far, so the whole tile map, because that'll spread to infinity. And of course the eyedropper, which lets you select a tile. So if we, I don't know, plonk this in, boop, Let me select another one and I drop this one and it will go to our tile. Next part will be a bit confusing, so I'm going to break it down in sections so you can better separate the concepts. So go back to here. Map creation. So terrain layers introduction. So we can paint or create our map with just the paint tools provided, but our environment will look pretty bland, especially for our terrain. To make things easier for us, we can use something called auto tiles. Terrains, also referred to as auto tiles. So terrain, auto tile, same thing. They create organic terrain shapes that will autonomously draw corners and edges in the area that we tell them to. This removes the tediousness of manually placing down edges and sides of, say, grass patches or water bodies while trying to create interesting looking terrains ourselves. So you can see the comparison here. So to create auto tiles, again, go over to the inspector panel, click on the tile set resource, and underneath terrain sets, add a terrain set element and add a sub element to that and all. So we want this as match corners inside. You can create different terrain sets for different terrain elements. Let's create terrain elements for grass, sand, and water. You'll see from the image below that we have a sand desert. Yeah, I'm a bit... I'm going to keep calling it sand desert. You know, you have only yourself to blame, Christine. Yeah, Christine C, who made this. And a sand forest. Let's just show you that you can have multiple sands in one terrain element set. Grass, sand, water, in this case, are all in different sets, but the sand elements are in the same set. Yeah, okay. So let's make these so we're in the same. So sand, desert. Nah, we'll call it desert. And then we have sand underscore forest. We'll make two more. Grass and water. And this mode is the default match corners and sides, so both diagonal and orthogonals. While we're at it, let's also create layers so we can paint the elements on separate layers so they can overlap and paint on the same over the tiles will erase each other, as you can see there. To add new layers, we need to go to the inspector panel like before. Underneath the layers property, add a new layer element in your own time, Godot. Thank you. And we name them water. Grass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sand. So here are our layers. Easy as you like. Terrain layer creation, auto tiling. So we can now paint on our layers separately, but first let's create those auto tiles. In your tile set panel on top, you'll see three options: setup, select, and paint. So if we go to tile set panel, setup, select, paint. In setup, we've already seen that here's where we can change the name and ID of our tile set, which we've done. In our select panel, after we've added layers such as our terrain or physics layers from the tile map properties, we can change the properties of tiles. I add collisions or auto tiling to groups of tiles by selecting them and then changing them. In the paint panel, we can do the same, but we can just paint them onto the tiles. So first method, auto tiling from select. This is the tedious way. So if we select, say, a thing here, We are in setup. No, we're in select, not setup. If we go to terrains, the set panel only allows us to select individual or multiple tiles and then change their properties via the properties panel. We see that the terrain's property has two numerical values, -1 for the terrain set and -1 for terrain. These are basically null, because integer doesn't have a null value, I'm guessing, so they just use -1 instead. So for the terrains, we have 3 sets, 0, 1 and 2. In each of the sets, we have terrain elements. For our sand terrain, we have the sand desert terrain element and the sand forest. So for our water terrain set, we only have water, and for grass, we only have grass. I hope this makes sense, because it might be a bit confusing around, well, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Set 0 terrain 0 is sand desert, as we done up here. Yep, so this is terrain set 0, terrain 0, sand desert. There we go. So let's add auto tiles to terrain set 0 and terrain element 0, sand desert. We're going to use our Atlas PNG tile set for this. Now we can go ahead and select our sand tiles. This one. I'm going to select the top left tile. Now I have to assign the peering bit values, peering bit to determine which tile will be placed depending on the neighbouring tiles. -1, again, sort of a empty. If all tiles has its, so for example, if a tile has all its bits set to 0 or greater, it will only appear if all the neighbouring tiles are using a tile with the same terrain ID. If a tile has its bits set to 0 or greater, but the top left, top and top right bits set to -1, it will only appear if there is empty space on top of it, include diagonally. So here, so yeah, if this has all its to 0, it's only going to appear if this and this are all empty. When we assign the value, we want to avoid assigning values to obvious corners or sharp edges. So here we want to put one to right, bottom right, and bottom SI, what's that? Bottom side. Ah, okay. Like that. If we go back to our tilemap's panel, underneath our sand desert terrain elements, we can paint the newly created auto tile on the map like this. This won't do anything because we need to add the other sand tiles, but this one will speed it up. We'll speed it up via the paint panel where we can paint the bit peerings directly onto the terrain, so we'll delete all this for now. Go back to our tile set. Go to paint. Yeah, we go to paint. We are painting terrains. We'll paint terrain set 0, sand desert. We've set them. There we go. Let's make sure that the terrain set for sand desert is selected, and on your corners start drawing in the bit peerings directly. Like so. I think we do need to activate all of these tiles first. Now, to add a bit value, left click on your mouse on the tile, and if you need to erase it, just right click on the added bit value to remove it. So let's do some painting. So we need to make sure that anything that's an edge isn't on the isn't shaded in. We just... Now this patch area is technically an edge, but it's going to spill over into these specified edge tiles, so we can get away with that. Okay. Get rid of those as well. Right. You can see here that because our edge is not in the shaded bit, we can shade it in, you know, without worrying. At least that's how I think it goes. So if we drag this back down, go out to tile map, and here we have our own tiles. We start drawing on the map. Now last time this didn't work, but now it's... I mean, it's still a bit rubbish, but... you kind of need to memorize where each thing is, I suppose. Grid snapping. That's the pixel snap, smart snap. No, whatever. It draws nice organic terrains, okay. Whatever. We can now go ahead and create auto tiles for the rest of our terrain set elements. Can't see the bit blocks, you can always change them later, so back to tile sets. And go to water. So we need to make our sand forest next. So we go to here. And the sand forest wants all these things. I mean, technically these are dirt rather than sand, but I don't know. So the tutorial, hang on, I'll bring up the tutorial image. So it's supposed to look like this. So we'll back in Godot. And you can see here, these aren't showing up well. So instead what we can do is go to our color and assign a different color to it. So nice light blue. I mean, it looks like we're flooding it with water. Whatever. Just paint it easy as you like. I mean, there's an eyedropper tool, but there's no rectangle tool, which is not great, but yeah, what can you do? It's would help if I didn't hit the one key on my pad, my mouse pad, by mistake. There we go. Yes, I've been doing roulettes on Final Fantasy 14 just before this, so I still have my Razer Naga plugged in, and sometimes my thumb just twitches and I hit one of the keypads. So anyway, that's the forest sand done, although it looks like water, but it's just selections. So our next bit, terrain bits for grass. So we'll go back to our atlas. We'll go here on terrain set 1, grass. And selection's a bit, I think it will clash a bit with the rocks, so we will use that sort of pinkish, whatever you call it. Yeah. So first, paint over all these to activate them. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct terminology. So I think we do this in the same manner as the sand thing we did earlier. There we go. There we go. Oh wait, I'm gonna put these here. So yeah, I think they look the same. And last but not least, the water. We'll go here and we'll change our colour to, well, it has it as a red. Yeah. So it's not those up there, but it's these things here. Can I control Z? I can control Z, but it's... Okay. There's no way to deactivate tiles, so I guess this is how we're doing it. So all of these are painted. Just do something similar with the rest of these tiles, not that. I will confess I'm not the best with working with 2D tile maps. I always used well, Taco Tidy used 3D. He used a 3D scene that I made in Blender, and yeah, just basically I imported that scene wholesale into Unity. And I created a grid to match the scale of that. Yeah, basically I scaled the stage itself down as a model and then made a grid on top of it. But yeah, I didn't use a tile map at all. This, however, is... I wouldn't say completely uncharted territory, but it has been a hot minute since I've done any of this. There we go. Water. Water done and my coffee's done. Yeah, coffee at 8 o'clock at night. Not the best idea. So, painting our terrain. So for our game, we'll use the rectangle tool to draw a semi-large area of water using the water auto tile. Now, the image here seems to suggest that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, something like 6x6 viewport. I mean, I'm not sure if that's an entire actual unit of measurement. Oh well, if Americans use the football field as a unit of measurement, I can use the viewport. And, oh, what the hell's gone on? Tiles, water, terrain sets. Oh, you idiot! Oh, I painted all of this on grass. Ah. Yeah, that's probably why it wasn't working. Oh, God. Yeah, these are all going to be null. Nil. Terrain sets 1. Terrain set nice one. So all of these up here. Yeah, we'll set that terrain set to -1. These here as well. -1. Which lets us bounce. So, terrain set 2, water. And we want to use these rows. So we select this as well. Our terrain set shall be 1, no, 2. Our terrain will be 0. And that's okay. So set the terrain set its terrain itself to 0. That's the whatchamacallit, the I've completely lost my train of thought. The middle bit. These are 9 sliced tiles. I'm going to have to use some judgment as to what constitutes a tile and what doesn't. Oh well. I believe that's it. I'll go back. It's close enough. Yeah. Oh, okay, so these go like that on the bottom, and these bottom ones are painted as well. be here till Christmas if let's keep going, but okay. So we'll close those tabs. So we'll paint our terrain again. And this time we actually have a proper tile map. There we go. Easy as you like. Don't want the player to run over the water, so these will be the bounds of my map. We'll add the collisions, so next on our grass layer I'm going to draw the land for the map, go crazy with the design. Just keep in mind your navigation maps if you want a better idea of the workflow behind designing maps. Go and look at the article. I'm just creating them out for the tutorial's sake, so whatever I end up with does not matter since we won't be selling or releasing the game. So there's an example. So we'll make ourselves a big old landmass here. And a little sort of, not a peninsula, the opposite of one. Whatever it's called, I'm not a geographer. Okay, and then we can just paint this little islet, atoll, whatever you want to call it. That's not... okay. So I'm guessing if you keep clicking each, and then it'll cycle through each autumn tile. There we go. And then we also have this little lake. Okay. Also drawing the collisions in for the edges of the grass tiles later on. Let's add sand to the sandy layer. I'll be adding a few pieces to the flat sand road since the grass edges don't match our main grass. What? Whatever. So we have like a little mass of sand. Not grass. Here. And we've got a little bit more here. And we've got a third bit here. Then we just paint this little circle bit. That. So another little edge here. And there's a sort of a land bridge up there. A bit there. to cut a little hole. Our landmass here. Have a little jut out like that. And then keep it as is, and then have this little jutty outy bit by the lake. Well, not really a lake, more of a pond. And this one we can link him a little bit here. Make this like that. And this here. Sand forest we can paint all like this. Then we can so we'll try that again. So I think we wanna, oh no, we can't. Okay. Yeah, and then we can erase all of these auto-filled grass tiles. Like so. Okay. Yeah, like that. Then we'll make a little oh no. There we go. Yeah, that looks like a game area. You can add grass from the water ping tiles to streets if you want to create different environmental sections from the maps. Okay. Adding world items. So now that we have our terrain set down, what was it? Oh yes. You can always make changes to it later on. We're going to go ahead and add things like flowers, trees, and even buildings. Before we do this though, let's add collisions to our tiles so that our player can run into items. For this we need to add physics layers to our tile map. These things here. In your sector panel, make sure the tile set resource is selected and the physics layers add a new element. After creating one, take your time, Godot, thank you. You will now have access to the physics layer option in the tileset panel. We can now add collisions by either adding them in the select panel or paint panel. Let's do it again, but both ways. So we'll go back to tileset. Where do we go? Collisions in the select panel. In our select panel, let's add some collisions to our tree using the Atlas Ping tile sheet. We don't want our player to be run through this tree at all. So let's at the bottom left. Wait. There's a tree. Aha, here we go. This tree? Yeah. We don't want to be able to run through the tree at all, so select the bottom left root of the tree and underneath physics layer. Underneath physics layer, polygons. Oh, right. You start drawing in our collisions in that little box. Let's border the entire image outline. Okay. Whoa, okay. Well, where'd that go? Edit points tool. You can edit and let's border. Oh, whatever. Yeah, that'll do. Once we finish drawing the collisions border or outline, and you've connected your last points. Oh, okay. So we need to. Whoa. What's that? Oh, okay. That and this can be put into the corner. Okay, so add a point here. Okay, maybe not. Like that. Okay, yeah, this will do. This means now it now has a collision polygon added to it. This blue thing here. You can also paint collisions onto our shape via the paint panel. Select your physics layer into your paint panel and click on another tree tile. If you click it, a box will appear. That blue means a collision shape has been added to the entire tile, but you can drag in new points. To outline the shape you want. Now click on the tile you want to assign the collision shape to assign it. You can also paint this collision shape onto multiple tiles if you like. Click on the tile you want to assign the collision shape to assign it. What? Paint. No, that doesn't like it. Oh, alright, here we go. I'm not going to do that, so let's go ahead and draw in the collision shapes for the rest of our tree. Oh, this might take a while. So that's that. If I click away, it's... Okay, so that's been assigned to that. So this next one, we can get rid of all these. Move this here. Move this here. And move next week over here. That. Assign that. So this next one. Oh, this one's got. Oh, damn it. Okay. No, don't do that. There's gotta be a way to do it in a more... What's the word? Oh, I don't know. Just ignore me. I can't colour in the lines. That'll do. Oh, if I want to go to another thing and then the... Okay, so... That centers it. This one up here. Done. 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 Bum. 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 Done and done. Click on there. Click on this one. This one's going to be very simple. Here. 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 And... Oh... Here. Cool. Fish. Bum. 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 Set up there. This one. Here. Here. Doop. Doop. Really, I could just pop this thing out and then put it on the other monitor, but I don't think you can do that. Oh. Okay. This one. Bump. Dump. Done. That. Plunk it here. This one. Here, 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 here. Skibbity here. Boop. 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 Doop. 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 Dip. 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 Ah. This BGM, it really does feel like I'm designing a rocket again. Trying to get these things the exact right spots. And there we go. That's our tree. I know there's a bit of a... Please let me control... Yes, thank God I can control it. And it stays the same on this one, so we can... Right. Okay, this is going to be the last sort of tile I'm going to do, because if I got everything really perfect, I'll be here till Christmas. There we go. Looks good. So... Let's paint this collision shape onto multiple tiles. I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and draw in the collision shapes for the rest of our tree. We've done that. Excuse me. Let's create a new layer. So not a physics layer, but a regular layer. Take your time, Godot. Foliage. Now on this layer, set the tiles that make up the tree, paint it onto your map close to your player. So would be tile map, tiles. No, yeah, tiles. Yes. And atlas. So we want this tree here, but not that. And then we can just plug it on there, not on the sand layer because, yeah, that happens. And there's our tree. You can also go ahead and use your select tool to select the entire tree to create a pattern of the tree. So bring up you to keep on reselecting all these tiles just to create new ones. You can copy and paste or drag the selected item into the patterns menu in the tile map option. Right, okay, no. Right. Drag and drop or paste. So that? No? Place random. No, I don't want to place random tile. I don't want terrains either. If I was to copy? Copy and paste. This. No. There doesn't seem to be a copy option. Drag this selected item into the patterns menu in the tile map editor. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. Yeah, okay. Now you can easily paint your tree as a singular object. If you run your scene, you'll see that your player now runs into the trees and not through them. Let's add collisions to other objects such as rocks and our terrain edges. So, do our foliage layer and lo and behold, it runs into our trees. You can also shoot the trees, but that doesn't do much. I think my viewport's a bit screwy. Let's yeah, well, .640 by 480, the holiest of resolutions. That's better. So, yep, can't walk through it. Can't even walk around it. Can't even walk in front of it. That's okay. We'll get there when we get there, I suppose. Just readjust myself. Take a sip of water. Okay. You'll see now. See that your player runs into trees and not through them. Add collisions to other objects such as rocks and our terrain edges. You can go ahead and add collisions to your water or anything else you want to add to the world. Don't forget to create patterns for your tiles. Okay. So right. Okay, so we can't go on water. Where am I? Ah, yes, water. Then we'll paint. I'll assign this thing, but we don't want this thing because bish bash bash bosh bish bosh bish 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 bish. It's an actual square. There we go. We block all this on all of our tiles. Easy as you like. Sorry. Okay. So that's all swamped out. Let's do some more painting, shall we? Or polygon making, whatever you want to call it. These should always be the same except for these which up there. And get a bit up. Whoosh, whoosh. Well, same thing here. Bum. Bum. As a that. Except this. It's not a collision like so. That's how it looks like. Should look like. Same for this one. Anything else? I don't think there is. Is there a way to flip these on the x-axis or something? Yeah. That. Yes. We make it a rectangle like that. And this one we'll want to make it a bit fancier. Ish. Boosh. There we go. Okay, this is going to be the last actual floor tile I'll be using. I'll be making the collision shape for. So here's our scenery. Here we can make our stony shape. Go. I'll make these stones and then two other what you call them, one pallet stones, whatever you call them. We go. Put that there. Where else? We'll do these two. I'm looking quick and sloppy, but okay. Right, so how do I... no, I don't want to do that. Oh, so we can flip them. Okay. So how do I... How do I load one existing one and then put it into a new one? That's what I want to know. Clear. On there. And it's out, but it's not going. There's no way to get stuff that's already on here onto this thing. Is there? Add a polygon. No. Delete points. Edit point. Oh. Doesn't seem that there is a way to load one. It's a bit of a bummer, but oh well. one up here. Done. Add a polygon. Like so. Here. Onto here we can horizontal flip and then yes, fiddle about with the points. There we go. I'm assuming we have a collision shape for the player. Oh. Whatever. Okay. Where's our buildings? We'll do... Yeah, okay, we'll do these buildings then. Set to default. And these are going to be all she wrote. Same with these. Oh. Full painting, and then we'll make our custom polygons in a bit. Okay. Right. I'm guessing we want this deck to be walkable on. So yeah, we'll do it like that. This. Put that there. We can also plug it here. Flip horizontally. There we go. Something like this. We can go up here. And there. On to the next one. Flip horizontally. Plug it in. Now this one. Just make a basic rectangle like that, and then we can just plonk it on each one. Just save a tiny bit of time. What's next? This little corner piece. Go. Then go to the other side. Flip it horizontally. There. This next one we can make a little rectangle. Like so. I'll do like that, like that. Flip it on the X. Oh, it's H is our shortcut. Do this. This. Plug it there. It's H. And plug it there. Easy as you like. That's the roof done. Now let's work our way through this decking. I think it'll... Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Like that. And you can, as always, flip like that. This next one we can get here. Shit. So like this, fish, bosh. I do like this. It's like painting, but not really. Yeah, it's like painting, except I don't have to worry about my hands being complete and utter jittery messes. Here, to here, to here, to here. H shoop. And this. There's a snapping grid snap. How does that work? It doesn't. Oh, okay. Okay. So we can just is there a way to select multiple points and then move them up at once? It does not look like it. Okay. That H boom. That's the next one. This one. That's more of a hardware issue on my end. This is a slightly more complex polygon. But nothing you can't handle. There we go. Yeah, it's slightly crooked, but that's supposedly the game we're working with. Next is this one. C to clear, and F for the default. But no, clear. There's got to be a way to put this in its own window. I could just drag this little bit of the screen here down to its own monitor and then have this massive thing, because I know Unity lets you do that with the what do they call it, the sprite editor. Yeah, that's one of the things I will miss with Unity. It's sprite editor. This one clear. Don't want no sprite. That. These can all go as well. Okay. This next bit. We create here, 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 here. Bish bash. Bibbidi. And I've got it the wrong way around. V, yeah, that's a right. We'll put this, 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 and then we make sure the doors are accessible. Notice that I've put the actual door frame as visible, not visible, go throughable, passable. That's the word I was looking for. And the reason for that is that it helps that if you give the players a little bit of leeway in what they're trying to do. Because if you go the other way and you be very strict with what they're doing, the players will, there's every chance that it'll just lead to them getting frustrated. And less likely to play a game where if you do give them a bit of leeway, they'll think that they got lucky in a sort of an edge case. Well, visually it looks like an edge case, but underneath the hood, it's well within. Want the player to feel like they've cheated the system. Well, not exactly cheated the system, but got lucky. Which I suppose is also why they have the pity system in their gacha games. I can scroll normally, thank you. It gives the sense that a player is luckier than they actually are. I mean, obviously nowadays you do have to publish your rates, and I'm guessing that the pity system is involved in that, but a lot of the times players just don't pay attention to it. They just think, oh, 1% is 1%, whereas in reality it's 1% until you pull however many times and then you quote unquote get lucky. So yeah, it makes the players feel like they're luckier than they actually are, which is good because it puts them in a good mood. And players in a good mood are more likely to keep playing. Okay, so that's the saloon exterior done. I'm going to finish this house, cabin, whatever this is. Yeah, I'll finish this and then I need to expel some ectoplasm. Yes. Ghosts do excrete, unfortunately. Why didn't I just plus F for the regular normal base thing? Okay. Painting everything for the time being. This, 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 this. Then oh no, this white fence thing. We want that to be impassable. So another, not exactly a hard and fast rule, but a guideline of game dev is that you should always be consistent. So because I've made this white fence here impassable on one building, an identical looking white fence should also be impassable. Because if there's one with one, then the players are just going to get a bit annoyed why they can't walk through the one fence, but I mean, obviously it's so minor being, you know, a fence, a collision thing, but it's a good habit to get into, if nothing else. Right, that's the fencing done. We'll do this bit. C plus this down bit. There we go. H flip it. There we go. Drag it to here. To there. Okay, H flip over there. Should have H flips, put it up the other side. Oh well. No matter. H flip, go there. Right, now for the door. Oh, I really do want to pop this open onto another monitor, but then none of you will be able to see it. I suppose I could have a window above that. I don't know. And I've just gone... Oh, I'm an idiot. Is there an invert option? I don't think there is, but nope, there's no invert. Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that. Oh, I'd rather draw a new shape from scratch. It's so fiddly, this launcher. H, here, that's the door. Right, now the roof. Final stretch. At least as far as this particular building is concerned. There we go. H flip onto here. Now for this. Okay. And that's the house. Oh, before I forget, this door needs to be an actual door and not a wall disguised as a door. And there we go, there's a free buildings all done and implemented. I'm gonna be right back. Right. Yeah. Let me just put myself on a BRB. Loading. There we go. I am back, and if you think that was a rather long break of that nature, then you'd be absolutely correct, because I took the liberty of making a cup of tea at the same time. Before I go back to the main scene, I'm going to do a quick Google. Godot pop out panel. There's a pop-up. Pop-up menu, pop-up... No. A pop-up panel. Is this it? A pop-up with a panel... No, that's not... Panel as new window. Load scene as new window. Custom window in Godot panel. A panel in the Godot engine. Oh. It doesn't seem that it exists. I don't know. So we can pop stuff up, like for new files or whatever, but there's doesn't seem to be. Oh, there's nothing. There doesn't seem to be a way of popping out these panels. You can move them around. You can reorder them. You can move them to another thing. Is there a way to editor? Editor layout? No. Editor settings? Maybe? That's... Editor screen, primary screen, mouse purpose. There doesn't seem to be a way to make... Oh, here we go, multi-window. Enable, restore Windows on load, maximize window. Okay, how do I make a new window? That's the main problem I'm having at the moment. Hang on. Godot editor, new window. Using the web. I don't want to use the web editor. Create custom window. Is it possible to use the new window in a game? No. Ways to customize Godot editor. This is from 4 years ago. I'm going to assume no, unfortunately. I'll probably have a look in Godot's Discord after this stream, see if that's possible. Because it is a bit of a pisser, I'll admit. So, what shall we do next? So we were doing collision shapes. For the moment, can I move tiles up here? I cannot move tiles up there. They're confined to this bottom bit. Maybe do I just toss it? No. Unfortunate. Try these. Houses, buildings, whatever. Ooh, a wagon. Oh, let's do the wagon. So we'll clear this. Boom. And then we'll create one. Bish, bash, bibbidi, bosh. So here, douche, ish, bash, bosh. H onto there and Bob's your uncle. Is there a way to... Aha! That's how you make it bigger. Unfortunately, it makes it bigger on the x-axis, but not on the y. There's no way to expand this thing by itself. That is a bit of a... Can I... Oh, I can rotate it. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Bib. Bib, and we've done the same thing again. Did. Easy fix though. Ditch. Yeah, I'm going way above beyond here. Get rid of all these. Put this in here. Beep. And then... Yeah. Onto here. Onto here, onto here. this here and start that here. There we go. Delete all these. I can't drag click and delete them, which sucks. I mean, I really want to like using this Godot engine. There's just so many niggles that just set everything back for me. Like, I can't go back into this, or rather, I don't know how to go back into this bit here and edit it. It's right, yeah. I really do want to like Godot, especially as it's the premier, well, not premier, but almost like the only free and open source software available. And of course the usual answer will be, well, why don't you make your own extension? Why don't you code in the thing yourself? And unfortunately, making a game and making an editor are two very separate things. I mean, if it gets to the point where I am, you know, making games in Godot and I'm making enough money out of them to, you know, make a living, then maybe I probably will, you know, learn a bit of whatever language the editor's programming. I think it's C++. I mean, I'm all right C++. I wouldn't call myself a professional in any way. So I suppose if I was as good in C++ as, say, I'd probably be using Unreal Engine. Unfortunately, the web capabilities of Unreal Engine are a bit, well, they're deprecated. So that's a bit of a pisser. Because if I want my Oshi to play the games I made, it would help if they wouldn't have to download anything. Although I suppose playing in the browser's its own can of worms. Right. Okay. I think that this hotel and this bank, they're scenery, not no, I'll leave it as is. Okay, so we've got some buildings, we've got all this raised platform steps on it. Yeah, this will be a good way to go about it. So we'll want this, this, and this also, and this top one also has a bit. So for the top level, whatever you call them, we're going to make it so the top part is a collision because it's supposed to represent sort of a drop. So we don't want players going off there. Here's a bit more logical because we have our steps. Also, it would help if I'm dragging these, if I held down Shift or Control, it would snap to the axis, like in Blender. No, not like in Blender. What was the Critter or Inkscape? Because what you've got right now, these sort of... I know there are snapping options, but there's no way to snap to, snap to another point, but on a different, snap to another point and then lock the axis so you'll ensure that everything's all squared and lined up. But I suppose if it is, we are working with sort of collision geometry, it's not really that... what's the word? Crucial. I mean, if I was making like a sort of fighting game where hitboxes are the be all and end all and everything, then yeah, that might be a problem, but something like this, nah. Okay, so these side bits, these are going to be a bit of a I think I'm probably going to have to make a sort of a 1 pixel wide wall. Yeah, I think that's probably going to have to be how I do it. Bum, 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 bum. We'll move this one. Yeah. Pop that there. And on this one. Wait, before I forget. H flip onto there. Now onto here, we can move this to here and delete this. And also delete this. It's a bit wonky, but you'll have to do. With regards to these little bit here on the sort of side bits of the steps, I think I'll keep those in, give the player leeway, as I was discussing before. Where else? These? Probably not. Anyway, I've been here for God knows how long. Let's continue with the tutorial. So, create our map. We can use the scattering tool or the dice icon to place these tiles randomly on the map. So, I've got slightly ahead of myself because I want to go into the tile map. These tiles, we want to select this wagon here. We want to select the wagon and paint it onto here. And we can select these wagon tiles. Select them. No. Come on. Select the wagon tile and then drag them as a pattern onto this. So yeah, can I put the patterns onto another panel? Doesn't look like it. Well. Let's put in something. Ah, here we go. So, all of these. And these as well. We'll put in. Yeah. And then we can select all of these. All of, whoa, okay, lad, okay. Ah, yes. You can see there's a little clip up there, so we put it on there. There, it's fixed. if we select patterns, can we automatically replace tiles with... No, that's not what I want. Oh, the grid visibility. Oh, I see. Where were we? Oh yes, these. It just seems like I have to select these and then drag those into the pattern. It's God damn it. Onto these. Boop. There we go. That's our well, what is it? It's going to be our saloon, but not really. Note that if you notice that your player isn't moving you because of the water collisions, you can fix this problem by just removing the mortar tiles from underneath the land stroke ground. That is probably why. Oh, it's moving, but it's spazzing out. Okay. Onto our tile map then. Water layer. We can erase that. Erase all this, erase all this. And these we aren't going anywhere, so our grass layer and then our foliage layer, yeah. Okay. So if we run it, do we fix it all? There we go. I think I want to put in a wagon right here. Okay. So okay, now we have a map. You know, so if I run, our player will run off the map and we can't follow them. To fix this issue, we'll need to add a camera to our player. Once to capture the entire world, you'll attach the camera to the main scene. But if you want to follow a specific character around, you will attach the camera to their scene. Let's open up our player scene. Save this one. Player scene and add a camera 2D node. Like so. Notice it creates a purple border around the player. More violet or whatever. This is the camera frame, and we can add limits to these edges so our player cannot see beyond a certain point in our map. Since we only have water around our map, we do not need to worry about this limit for now, but we will come back to this later on. Yeah, that's something that I had to program myself in Unity. That's a good one. And that's it for this part. I knew this is a very long section. Well, to be honest, I've painted a lot, so yeah. And it might have even overwhelmed you a bit. But don't worry, because in the next part of this tutorial series, we'll be doing something new and simple when we start creating the game's GUI. Remember to save your game project, and we'll see you in the next part. Save all scenes, yeah. So, I had a doubt. I want to like Godot to look as clean as possible when I'm drawing map. How do I change it from always showing grid? Ah, yes. By the way, if you can refer to this as well, you can toggle smart snapping off, so that moves them freely. That was that. Okay. So we are on part 5 now. Setting up the game GUI part 1. Hang on, the cat's being a... Give me a sec, hang on. There you go, sorry about that. The cat wanted his supper. So, let's set up the game GUI. Welcome back to our Dusty Trails tutorial series. If you missed the previous part, blah blah blah. Such as enemies and quests, some of us want to go to the creation of the game's GUI as the way. The GUI will allow us to visually show the changes in our players' stats, such as their ammo and pickup amounts, health and stamina values, and current XP and level. By creating the basic UI first, we can eliminate the problem of having to constantly check if these values are being influenced or changing via the console output. So, this is our plan. Ammo and potions, the resources at the top left, health and stamina at the bottom left, XP and level bottom right. And maybe... I think a minimap might be a bit outside scope. But you never know. In our main scene, we can add... So, main scene, here. Thank you, Godot. There we go. This node will serve as the layer. Main scene, canvas layer. Canvas layer. Here we go. This node will serve as a container for adding the UI elements to the main scene because we want to connect these elements for our instantiated player script via signals to update their values. Let's also go ahead and rename it as UI, just so that it stays nice and organized. We want the UI elements to be contained within the borders of the blue frame on your screen. I hid my existing nodes so that we can solely focus on the UI now, so don't panic if you see that I don't have a map or player available, player anymore. You know what? I'll do the same. Let's add a color rect node as a child to the UI node. Why aren't we making the UI its own scene? Oh yeah, because we're hooking it up with the player. Add a color rect node as a child to the UI. It draws a rectangle that we can fill with color. This node will serve as our progress bar for our health values. Add another color rect node. To your newly added one, rename the first as health bar and the second as value. The outer rectangle health bar will serve as the box or border for our progress bar, and the inner rectangle value will be the actual colour that changes to show the progress value. Now in our inspector panel, underneath layout, transform, wait, what have we got selected? It's value, no, it's health bar. That's underneath layout, transform, change the health bar node size. Transform. Change the health bar node size to X100 and Y10. Do the same for the values node, but 2 pixels slower. 2 pixels smaller. So 98 and 8. We also want to center our value rectangle inside of the health bar rectangle. To do this, we will change its anchor preset to center. Anchor, where would that be? Where would that be? Oh, okay, it says it's here. Center. There we go. I'll zoom in a touch. Yeah, center. Change the color of the health bar to free alpha, free niner, free 5-6 alpha. Oh, so that adds transparency to it. Oh, I see, yeah. And change the color of the... No, this is the value. Oh, hang on. So this is Alpha 4 Delta Echo 7 Niner. Ah, fuck's sake. Okay. My numlock isn't... Why isn't it accepting my input? Hang on. Correct. Help bar. There we go. Alpha 4 Delta Echo 7 Niner. And the color of the health bar element 2. 3 Alpha 3 Niner. 3 5 6 Alpha. Oh, fuck's sake. 3 Alpha 3 Niner. 356 Alpha. Let's anchor our health bar to our bottom left of the screen on your inspector panel underneath layout. So this is for the health bar, yes. It's the same thing going back to the top whenever we get back out of an image. Just when I thought I was safe. Inspector panel underneath layout, change the anchor preset from center to bottom left. From center? Oh, whatever. To bottom left. And position values to 5155. And it's in the middle. What? Hang on, what? Oh, it's because I've got the view portal. Yeah, that's why. For 60? Yeah, we'll call it like that. Or rather a bit more. Should be a bit above 440, we'll call it that. Duplicates the entire health bar node with child node value and rename it to stamina bar. So duplicates, Control D, same as Unity, and rename it to stamina bar. Change the value node to I don't know why you have to close and reopen it for it to accept him, but 377 Charlie Niner Echo. There's 2 sevens, not 3. Let's anchor our stamina bar to the bottom left of the screen. In the inspector panel, change the anchor presets from center to bottom left. And position values to 5, 155, 165, 450. That's looking good. Now that we have our health and stamina progress bars set up, we can now go ahead and implement the functionality for these elements in code. In our player script, we need to add variables to capture our health value, maximum health, health regen, and the stamina. On the top of your player.gd script, underneath the is attacking code, hang on. Attack anime? No, attack animes. So we want bar health equals 100. Var max health is 100. Var regen health equals 1. Var stamina equals 100. Var max stamina also being 100. Var regen stamina equals 5. Surely should fix your white space, but Oh well. I might see if we can do GD script in Visual Studio Code. I think you can remember doing it. Oh well. Maybe they... I know GD script got a bit of an overhaul with Godot Engine 4, so I'm not sure if the VSC extensions kept up. It should have. Anyways, so with our variables created, we need to create custom signals for both health and stamina, so that our objects in our game can listen and react to change events without directly referencing one another. In other words, these signals will notify our game that a change in our health or stamina values has occurred, and then trigger other events to occur because of this. If our health and stamina variable changes, we want to fire off the signal to it, so that visually these changes are shown in our progress bar and our health value is updated. We've worked with signals before when we connected the built-in on-animation finished signal to our player script, but this time we'll create our own custom signal. We'll add our custom signals to the top of our code because we'll add more signals later on. This keeps all of our signals neat and organised. To define custom signals, we use the keyword signal followed by the name of it. Our signals will update our health and stamina values, so we'll call them health updated and stamina updated. So just at the very, very tippy top, signals. Signal health updated. Signal stamina updated. And yeah, that's that. We want these signals to be initialized or activated as soon as our player enters a scene. To do this, we will need to initialize our signals in our built-in ready function, which we haven't put in yet. We initialize signals via the emit constructor. This emits the signal and all the callables connected to the signal will be triggered. Function underscore ready. So this, I believe, is the equivalent of start in Unity. Initialize. No. Updated signal. Health updated. Dot emit. Health. Max health. Init. Stamina. Signal. So usually this will be making it a C# event with a called on health updated or on stamina updated. Stamina max stamina. I reckon I'll probably be doing most of my programming in C# because that's where my original code base is, and it might be that I might be able to Frankenstein a class or two out of there. Now that we have our signals, variables created and initialized, we also need to constantly check them to see if our health or stamina values need to be updated or regenerated. We can do this check in the process function, which will be called every time a frame is drawn. So, update. This function has a parameter called delta, time.delta time, which represents the time, elapsed time that has passed since the previous frame. For each health and stamina, we need to calculate the updated values for each. We will do this by using the min function, which will ensure that it will never exceed the maximum values of our max health and max stamina variables. Inside this min function, we'll be calculating the updated value of our health and stamina variables and add it to the value of each of these variables that are captured in the update frame. Okay. So, bar updated health equals minimum of health plus regen health multiplied by delta and max health. So this regen health, yeah, so it does break in a bid mass. Then we do the same with stamina. Stamina. No. If these values are different to our original values, then we will update our health to the new value and emit a signal. Yep, no seam overlay for you. There's no find and replace. Well, it's not on Control H. Replace is instead Control R. Okay. While we're at it, let's update our sprinting input actions to use up some of our stamina when pressed. So physics process now. Sprinting. Speed equals 100, then we add stamina minus equals Can you do this? Well, it's not giving a compiler error, but the tutorial here, stamina equals stamina minus 5, but this, I don't know, perhaps it's a GDScript 4 thing. Now we need to connect our signal to our UI components. So in your main scene, add a new script to both health bar and stamina bar. We'll save this for the time being. Add new script to both health and stamina bar. GUI health .gd call one health and the other one stamina. Yes, it does inherit killorect. Okay. In health, let's create an onReady variable for the value of our value node. You can reference node in your current scene via the $. So that's the same as get component. Standard variables are initialized when the object is created, and onReady variables are initialized after the object is added to the scene tree. We then need to create a function that will update the color value of the value node. We can do this by multiplying its width by the value of the player's health divided by max health. This will return a percentage value that will set our value node's new width. So, that's onReady var value equals $value. Oh, it's the value node, not the... It's the value node, not the actual value we're looking for. Update health. Health. Max health. Value dot size dot x equals 98 by health over max health. Oh man, I feel so damn dirty with these magic numbers, but... And this whole class is crying out for some abstraction, but I mean, it's a 23 part tutorial, so we'll probably get to that soon. Do the same for stamina. You're the boss. Finally, we need to connect our player signal to our main scene, so that our UI elements can be updated when the signal emits. To do this, we need to go into our main scene and connect a script to our root node. Save this as main underneath your scripts folder. Go into our main scene, which we're in, and connect a script to our root node. Save as main underneath our scripts folder. Main.gd. Yep. Extends node 2D. Once again, we will initialize the signal connection in our ready function. We will connect our player's health updated signal via the connect keyword. And the object that it will connect to is our health bar's update health function. That means every time there is a change in our health value, the player script will emit the signal and our health bar will update the value. Do the same with stamina signal. So we go to func_ready. We'll connect this signals to, so it's $player dot health updated dot connect $UI health bar update health. I'm not entirely sure why the health bar can do this of its own accord, but I'm not the one doing it. I'm not the one writing the tutorial. Okay. Bit of a quirk that the member names, the signals, aren't in the autofill. Well, your final code should look like this. Let's go to GitHub. Yes, it looks exactly like this file system here. Main.gid. Doop, 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 doop. Yep, it looks similar. If not exactly the same, so for a bit of a spacing. GUI health on-ready var value equals value. On-ready var value equals value size x equals that. Okay. We'll save all of these. If you run your scene now and you sprint, you'll see that the stamina bar decreases as well as regens. Okay. This is... Oh, it's because of hidden knees. That's probably why. Of course, it's not regenerating. Why is it attacking? It's attacking when it stops moving. Okay, it attacks of its own accord. Hang on, it's a script. Stamina, value size equals stamina, max stamina, player. The unit of stamina plus regen stamina by delta max stamina. Stamina regen equals 5. Stamina's still 0. That's oh no, wait, it's Oh, Oh, it just takes a while to... And plus we can just sprint our way. Why don't I? Wait, these are... blocking? Oh, yes, yes, I did set the thing, and these waters need to be set as well. Okay, might as well do it while we're here. So map. Our tile map. We want to go to water. And we want to place our water terrain. Like so. So. Do we need to? No, we don't. Actually, we do. Just make it so. Do. Because, yeah, these tiles are just for decoration. Go back to there. And it's like it never changed. Right. If we run now, it decreases as well as it generates. Let's move on to our next GUI part for our pickups GUI. Remember, save the game project and see you in the next part. What's the time? 20 past 10. Okay, I think where you have the code, while stamina is greater than 25, it should be... While stamina is greater than... I think the author updated it as a result of this. While stamina is greater than 25, if stamina is greater than 25, something like stamina minus equals... I don't think that was a... Stamina equals stamina minus 5. Stamina was in the... That's rather odd. I'm probably just going to chalk it up to yeah, so let's sprinting whilst... Oh, here we go. Ah, yes. It was... No, that was my mistake. If input action, so instead of here we put if stamina is greater than or equal to 25. Yes, must have missed that line out. Okay. Although that makes it so that stamina just doesn't, it just stops when it's believe no 25. So what you would do is that if it's actually just pressed on there, then it would say, okay, start sprinting if our stamina is higher than 25. However, if it's still pressed, no, if the animation is still pressed, if stamina is greater than or greater than 0, it will do that. Okay. I think for the time being, we'll keep it exactly as it is in the tutorial. If I do end up revisiting this after the tutorial, I'll probably implement this. So yeah, something like, if input is action just pressed UI sprint, if stamina is above 25, then do set speed to whatever. Then do all this. And it says, so you'd probably want a you'll probably want to put a variable up here, bar is sprinting. But anyways, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. Here we go, part 6, setting up the game GUI part 2. So, blah 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 blah, created the UI, create user interface, show and update pickups. Pickups are the things that we're able to pick up. That includes health and stamina regen drinks and ammo. We don't have these items yet, we'll create them later on, but for now we'll create the UI for them. Okay. Right, main scene. Underneath UI. In your own time. Add a third color rect node. Rename this node to ammo amount. Well, the thing just says ammo. But the text calls it ammo amount, so I'll call it ammo amount. Perhaps she changed her mind in post. And then we can add a sprite 2D as it's sprite 2D as a child and label as child. As no shot to select, this will show the ammo amount the top player has. So label will just be plain text, I'm guessing. Select the ammo amount node, this one, and underneath layout, change its color value. Underneath layout, change its color value to, I think that might have been a typo. And it's been a prick. So, free alpha, free niner, 356 alpha. Change its size to size. Where are you? Transform. Here we go. Change its size to 40 by 20. And its position to 5.8. I really do hope I can set relative sizes, or that if I do scale the whatchamacallit, it scales with it. Does Cruelty Squad have a resolution setting? I'm not sure. I haven't played Cruelty Squad. It's I'll admit it's not exactly my cup of tea. Now let's rename the Sprite 2D node to icon and the label to value. Icon. Label to value. This is slow because this computer has been on for too long. It must have been several weeks without shutting down, so I think I might need to give it the old power cycle after this stream's done. Back to the icon node, let's assign it a texture. I don't have an icon to represent bullets, so I'm going to do an icon of a shard. In our assets icons folder, drag the image called shard01i.ping to the texture property. Okie doke. So assets icons. It's shard 01i.ping. And then go ahead and change its position to 10, 10. Zoom right in on it. Your value node, change its text to 0. Also changes horizontal and vertical alignment to be centered. Alignment, where are we? Is it under layout? No. That's alignment, where would that be? Changes horizontal and, oh no, it's horizontal and vertical alignment to center. No, that's an anchor. Alignment. Oh, here we go. Duh. And anchor it to the center right side of the box, like that. Its size should be size. Its size should be that way. Its size. Oh no, wait, here we go. So it's under layout transform. Oh, I get it. I get it now. So it's 19 by 26. Position is 21 minus 3. We also want to use a custom font for this text. Underneath theme overrides. Oh, here we go. Fonts. Quick loader font. I have a few fonts, but we're going to use Arcade Classic. Changes font size to 20 or 15. Big old 20. Your ammo element should look something like this, which it does. Duplicate the element twice. First, rename the first duplicate to health amount. Oh, health pickups. And the second one to stamina amount. These elements will show our players' health and stamina drinks, our regeneration potions. Health amount nodes, position property should be 50 and 5. 50 and 8, even. Stamina should be 96 and 8. What? Hang on. Oh, that's going to set the size, not the position. There we go. Change the health amount nodes icon to potion02c.ping. Potion02c.ping. So this would be texture? No. Theme. It's because I want the icon, not the bloody... Sprite 2D, so texture would be potion02c.ping. Stamina amount is potion02b.ping. I do not like health being green. For me, health is always red. I'm not entirely sure why. Because what kind of think of it? Final Fantasy has a green health bar, so perhaps I'm the one. Perhaps I'm the one that's wrong. Well, I probably am the one that's wrong. Health bar's green. And I think the missing bit is red. We cannot change our newly created pickup values yet because we don't have pickups. We do have our UI, however, so things are starting to come together. Let's move to our final GUI, level and experience. Remember to save the game project and we'll see something else. So this will be the last part that I do. What with it being over 3 hours stream time, blimey. Oh. Previews to show for it. I'll get there. I'll get there. Might have somebody to natter to, hopefully. In our 2 previous parts, we created the UI elements for our health and stamina values as well as our pickups. In the final part of our GUI section, we are going to create the elements needed to display our players' level and XP values. We aren't going to add any code to this update yet, because we first need to create an enemy for that first. Let's go ahead and create these elements now. In the main scene, let's add yet another colorect to our UI node. I swear to God, damn it. Rename this node to XP and add 2 label nodes to it. Where are we? So we want to make add a new colorect UI. So I want to highlight UI because I don't want to make it a child of icon. Thank you. UI. Colorect. And we'll call this XP. I really want to call it EXP, but I'll force myself to do something different. Add another label. First will be our XP label, and second will be XP value. So we'll just change this to value. Rename them to match their stated purpose. With your XP node selected, change its color property to the usual background. Can I color pick from... No, you can't. So it'll be free, alpha, 39356. Let's transform properties to the following. Okay, so we'll need to copy paste. So its size will be 90. No, not custom minimum size, just size. 90, 15. Position will be 225 by 142. I'm going to need to update that for my own anchor preset. Where are we? Bottom right. Change your font. Oh, let's see where it looks like. Okay, so it's in the bottom corner, so we can right. So instead of 550, we call it 540. 10 pixels by, put it in line with our I think so, 440. Okay, change the font of your two label nodes to Arcade Classic and the font size to 15. Hang on. Change the font of our two label nodes to Arcade Classic. We can't select multiples, or maybe Godot's just being a slow POS. You finished? Good. Right, theme overrides, fonts, quick load, Arcade Classic, and we'll set our font size to 15. Change the text of your label to XP and text of value to 0 of 100. Okay, the colon's a bit of a, oh, whatever. Now text the value to 0 of 100. Then change the anchor presets of the label node to center left. Change the values of the following. Anchor presets to center left. Change the properties to parent mode anchor center left. Transform 20 by 24. Position is 5, negative 4.5. That's right. Do the same for value, but it's center right this time. And we make it 56 by 24 and 30. Negative 4.5. Duplicates the XP node for all of its children to level. Change the level node's transform properties to the following. So our bottom right, and we make it up a bit. Oh. Position, not size. 422. Yeah, that'll do. Finally change the enable to level and value to 1. Your result should look like this. It doesn't. Hang on. Change the level notes transform to, yeah, that. Change the text label and number to 1. I think it probably, when I was doing the XP, I probably missed a bit to align it center. Right. There we go. That's it for the Game GUI. I know it's a very long 3-parter, but next one we'll do a bit more fun when we create our ammo and consumable pickups from the save game projects, and we'll see you in the next part. Okay, so we've gone from part 4 to part 7. So next time, hopefully on Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday, so hopefully I'll be getting some results in the morning, or maybe the afternoon. And then after that happens, I'll probably be streaming the next bit of the tutorial. So yeah, I'm just under a third of the way through so far. Just under a third of the way through. So that would mean, what? 2, 4, 5 or so more streams until this tutorial's all done and dusted. Or it might just be that I get very, what's the word? Overconfident and skip this tutorial and go straight into remaking Taco Tidy on Godot, but hopefully that won't happen. So for now, this has been Mr. Spirit of Redwood Studio, signing off for the night. Have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, and I shall see you whenever I see you.